Let me preface my answer by saying, historically, when we think about the E&P industry, we think about exploration. Activity, wells, whether onshore or offshore, going out and finding new fields, new reservoirs, and then developing those and producing them for 20, 30, 40, or 50 years and so on. And that activity is still prevalent, of course. What we're saying now is that, for a set of different reasons, that we're not sure how many more new fields there are that are accessible to global investment, that one makes sense economically, given do they have the right break-even prices, that do not or are not concerned by other environmental or above-ground issues that simply rule them out for a number of issues. And therefore, we may be looking at a situation where instead of new fields and new reservoirs, most of the industry has to be focused on existing reservoirs. And when we look at them, we always look at two sets of numbers. A new field with new reservoirs always has an in-place recoverable resource estimate. And for example, in place, it might be making up 10 billion barrels. But the recoverable resource might initially only be 30% of that, right? So that leaves 7 billion barrels in the reservoir that may not have been economic to produce 10, 15 years ago. We're now saying that the industry is forced to look at how to increase the recovery factor of that in-place resource volume and go from 3 billion out of 10 billion to 4, 5, or 6 billion out of that 10 billion. So in effect, in this example, we'll increase recovery factor from 30% to 50 or 60% or higher. So in that case, most of the industry is not looking for new reservoirs and new fields. It's actually looking for opportunities to increase recoverable resource out of the existing reservoirs that are already known. And that's really what we talk about in terms of these tight rock technologies. And overall, we're calling it with a term called whole basin strategies, which is going back and look at usually mature, semi-mature basins. Again, existing fields, existing reservoirs that we already know, and understanding how to unlock more of the resource that's in those reservoirs and make them recoverable.